question.
You want me to repeat the question?
Yeah.
So as a man, you don't ejaculate at all. This was my question.
So yes, for me, I avoid ejaculation at all. Like since 15 years, I'm in Tantra. I never ejaculated intentionally. It happens sometimes. I don't feel guilty about it. But I try to avoid as much as possible. Every time you lose the energy, and if you can have much better orgasm without, every time it happens, it's game over. Why do I want to game over and lose the energy when I can have much better ecstasy and not to lose? But of course, yes, why? Yes, we are addicted from sex. Why people smoke? Why people cannot quit their addictions? Because yes, something is pulling them. So that's why. So yes,
I also have two questions. The first one is it healthy to not ejaculate that long? Because I have read different things about it.
Okay, yes. So the ejaculation is a very healthy thing what prevent the prostate cancer. And yes, how it prevents it when ejaculation happens, it have involuntarily squeezes of the PC muscle. These contractions, that's the squeezes of the PC muscle. So yes, the doctors will tell you like, hey, it's very important that you ejaculate because that's the way only when you squeeze your PC muscles. That's for doctors. They don't know that tantric people, they squeeze the muscles intentionally and they train their PC muscles, and and secondarily, like it's yes, one of the liberating things to have nice prostate massage, not like the medical prostate massage, as that one of the way of liberating tantric path, healing tantric men, basically his G-spot and releasing a lot of tension from there, you know. So that's also like another thing what in tantra happens quite more common. But yes, another thing what ejaculation is good for, and we can have to find kind of replacement for this, usually with the clitoral orgasm as well, you release all the tensions, like all the emotions what we used to suppress in our life. And Tantra deals with it because you actually don't deal with it when you release them. You just like they're coming back. The circle is repeated. You will still get angry in the same situation. You will still you will be upset about, or you will fear in the same moment, and you suppress these emotions. And people figure out the way to deal with it, to release it, but the situation is coming back. So in Tantra way, it's like, okay, you release the emotions in the moment, in the most possible way. However, it's always with the awareness not to harm the other person. So maybe if you are angry, you cultivate, if you cannot shout at that moment and release it straight in the moment, like you have conscious person who will not feel offended, or who will not feel fighting back, but will support you in the process and hold the space for you. If you cannot do that because you are maybe in the public space, in the church, and or whatever, where you don't shout, then you do it as soon as possible. You are in the place where you can do it, like maybe at your home. You hit the pillows. You do maybe dynamic Osho meditation regularly to keep releasing. Usually when I snorkel, when I go out, I do my shaking, you know, like shaking off all the energy. I do regular drum circles in Fridays, and I dance there like for and shake off all my I stamp my feet, you know, like, and I do it on regular basis. So I take care for my emotional hygiene in a much better way. Actually, I deal with my issues in that time because I'm going back into what upsets me at that moment. What do I want to like go through, and I let it out with in the healthy way, not projecting on some other person, but in the way that I can feel it, I can release it, let it go. Yes, with the ejaculation, you are actually not dealing with. You just keep the same triggers you, and yes, you lose the energy. So yes. That's one of the things what people like with the when you start to do, you have to also it's simultaneously with the tantric path. It's a releasing path, releasing of the emotions. Don't suppress the emotions anymore. We don't know. This is it has to go like this, you know, like the other thing. Yes, what may happen, and this also is unhealthy. Like it creates pain. Like when we, and it's very common in the tantric circles, like that especially the men have so-called pain in the testicles, what is also called the blue balls syndrome. It's a pain in the testicles, what comes from, like, yes, suddenly we are able to make love for hours. So we create a lot of energy, and usually we have tendency, if we don't do it intentionally differently, we usually start the love making very excited, and when we don't lose with the ejaculation, we still are very excited when we are feeling to finish. And this, like, if we create the energy for not minutes anymore, but hours, and we avoid losing it for weeks, this too much energy what we didn't brought to the heart in very best way will start to accumulate here and more, and this too much energy can create tension and pain, especially pain in the testicles by the man, but also can create the tension by the woman. So it's very important that for the man, the best way to avoid this is stretching the scrotum, the back where are the testicles. Yes, not the testicles, but the back where the testicles are, and as many years you have, and this is preventing method to not to feel that pain. For both men or the woman, do use it, don't lose it, not only for the reason of avoiding the ejaculation or clitoral orgasm, but also at the end when you both decide that okay, it's enough, do it this time not 5, 6, 7 times till you feel you are far away from the point of no return, but you do it maybe 20 times, this circulation, that all the energy you can bring, and that you can you finish already, so you don't need erection. You can take all this energy up to your heart, and that's why also in Tantra another solution for this is like they use the sacred rituals to close the love making. They do the heart salutation, like greetings with the heart and the forehead. We will teach you at the course, and that's why they don't go like for the cigarette after just after the love making, but you stay in the intimacy, in this heart connection, not only about like sexuality, and but also about the more loving intimacy. Like, so that's also bring the energy to the heart. So those things help you to not to have that thing. So those are the things what could be like the pitfalls of the non-ejaculation and non-clitoral orgasm and mastery. So yes.
I have
Yeah.
2 other questions. But the first one is when I decide today I want to do the 49 days. And then during the workshop I have a peak orgasm because I'm just not used to this method, and I have to start again, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So yes. So the 21-day challenge and 49-day challenge is a challenge. So yes.
49 is long.
Yes. So 21 days it's free you from
Absolute
physical attachment, from the physical addiction. So physically you are free, but mentally and spiritually free, you have to do 49-day challenge. Usually people who do the 49-day challenge, they completely free from attachment to the ejaculation. They are not interested in ejaculatory or clitoral orgasm anymore. They feel like this is a sneezing orgasm, loss of the energy, game over, nothing interesting there.
And then
So yes, what is this challenge about? So the challenge is not about sustain yourself from sex. It's actually like every spiritual discipline, every spirituality requires some discipline, and discipline in it is that you are every day sexually active, at least half an hour on high arousal, yes, and if you are not with the partner, you do it by self-pleasuring, and you stay on that arousal for half an hour. You practice every day, and yes, if you lose it, because sometimes maybe the full moon influences, maybe because your partner was too exciting, maybe you play some new things what make you surprisingly edging very quickly. So yes, now some of the positions are more exciting for the man and more like risky for the man. So maybe for the challenge, try to avoid those positions. The same for the woman. There are different positions. So yes, the 21-day challenge is from both sides. You know, like you maintain yourself with the sexuality. So for the woman, very often with the blockages towards sexuality, it's like the way to awaken your sexuality and go straight to the higher levels of the sexuality, not just going to the clitoral, but going further. So this is like a bit like like it's quest. It's a challenge. It's yes. I'm sure you would be very happy if you go for it, and yeah, yes.
In this 29-day challenge, the goal is just to not ejaculate or have clitoral orgasms.
Yes.
Other orgasms you are
Yes.
allowed to have.
Yes, that's it. But yes, so you would be free from feeling about the clitoral orgasm. But especially with the woman, because you may feel that you still running kind of on desires. You expect always to have orgasm. Even you finish the 49-day challenge, you still want to have any orgasm always. Then kind of it's still running on expectations, on desires, and like if you do not get it, you are not satisfied, and that's not very good. If it happened, then you go for the next level. You go for the wave orgasm. This is what most of the men experience. Actually, for first year of my tantra, I never experienced any other points I never knew about any other points so much, orgasmic points. I was very happy enjoying the wave orgasm, just non-ejaculatory orgasm. So if the woman still afterwards feels like, hey, you know, like I still attached, I'm not making it out of choices. You can make it out of choices for 3 hours daily. It's the best choice, I'm saying. But if you still feel a lot of expectations and you have dissatisfying sex because the man didn't give you this kind of or the other kind of orgasm this time, then yes, that's I would recommend to go for the next level of it. So that's kind of it, and then you avoid any type of orgasm. But for the beginning, yes, I would say like go for this, and probably this may help in most of the cases. Yes.
Because when I'm just like thinking that we're like doing it, also integrating it in the course now, and we might like go then to like the yoni massage, for example, it might happen that we will like experience some orgasms there. So
Yeah, also it may happen, and it's good, you know, for if you didn't experience for the beginning, you know, like it's like good that you experience all of them, that you have easiness to experience them. They're very good to experience, you know, like only in like maybe if you are 2-3 years in Tantra and you experience all of them already, you know how to experience them, and then you notice actually I rely on experiencing them from my satisfaction, then it's like kind of next level. Okay, then you can repeat the challenge with the intention, like okay, have the high arousal, very high arousal, higher and higher arousal, but not to go into any like, you know, this is kind of like, yes, yeah, really next level.
You recommend doing this when you're doing it?
Yes, I recommend to do it right now. Like basically, I have 2 requirements for the giving the certificate, especially for the men to finish the challenge, at least the 21 days, like. Because yes, if you're still running on desire, especially as a man, we don't want yes, people doing any sexual work, being a teacher, and yes, take advantage of the situation, especially with our name or whatever. Yes, and yeah, fucking around, you know, like, and running on desires and keeping your addiction going on, but with getting super tools like, oh, now I know how to eye gaze the woman to bed, you know. So it's yes, so that's why, especially from the man, we kind of request you start from today, like, and we honest with it. Keep each other updated. Yes, we see what are your intentions. We observe you for all month. We, if we feel you gonna finish, if you didn't manage to finish, because yes, you know, like yes, we would be experiencing the unusual lingam massage, what could be very unexpectedly exciting for you, and of course don't feel guilty if you will lose. You just start your challenge again, but we can feel it if your strong intentions are strong, and so but yes, so we that's what is our request, like, and from the woman especially, it's to like, both are for both, but like for the woman is especially to heal your major sexual wounds, so sexual blockages. If you feel still like somehow feeling like yes, the blockage towards making love, or towards sexuality, towards men, towards penetration, and you feel there is some wound, and like all of this, yes, we are here also to experience the healing of those wounds, that you feel very healthy with your approach to the sexuality. You see that sexuality in the way how we guide is very sacred. It's you don't feel like prejudices towards healthy sexual men, towards healthy sexual lovemaking, and if you feel good about that, then we know you're not gonna project some of the blockages what sometimes women have, to your students, you know. So those are the main requests, and those are not only for the women and men, because the man can be also traumatized in his life much more than the woman, and he can have also many blockages or whatever things what he also have to develop, you know, like, and to have very healthy feeling about the sexuality towards approaching the woman, towards women in general, yes. And the same woman can be more addicted. I saw many women more addicted from clitoral orgasm, shouting at me, being angry at me that, hey, I don't want to give it to them, you know, like, so yes, it's not only that way or another, but in general, yes, it's mainly for the man this requirement and for the woman this requirement. And the other request for both is about doing everything from unconditional love, like to be on like, hey, always like, okay, I love myself, I love my partner, with this way I can multiply the energy and give it even more to the people, but I do it like, yes, for the good of the humanity, good like of the make the world a better place, because I love yes, as more I love I do for the others, actually I love myself more, I'm proud of myself more, and yes. I hope.
I have a question.
Yes.
So what if a man ejaculates in his sleep, for example? Does
So
it start again from the beginning?
I would say yes, but you know, like yes and no, kind of like we kind of you know, like do this, you know, like usually, you know, like men start ejaculating after some time, you know, like it's not happen in the first day when you start it, and not usually 21 or 49 days, you know? But if it happened, like, yes, you didn't do it intentionally, you was not fully conscious about that, so I would say, like, yes, it's keep on going, finish your challenge. If you can, usually people who finish the challenge, they don't really think about, oh, now I can celebrate and, you know, like ejaculate. No. They continue, like, because they don't see the point anymore to, like, so, yeah.
And I have a last question, because you said it's like heroin, and once you are done with it, or you had this hard orgasm, then you don't want the other one. And you compared it with the chocolate, like it's once a week and then you put it on the shelf and it's fine. But in the same sentence you said, but it's good to have it every day or 3